Hello, 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 and welcome to my YouTube channel. Thank you for tuning in. I don't normally have anything to say in the beginning to, besides saying welcome and thank you for tuning in. Today we have something very important to talk about since it is pagan season right now. What do I mean by that? We just had the uh, fall equinox just passed by. Actually, you know what? I totally am a noob here, and I forgot to. What is the pagan holiday for? Um, oh, okay. So I got it. 1 second. That was yesterday. Okay, that was yesterday. My bad. I should have been more professional, but I'm not. I am the way I. Oh shit. Okay, hang on. So to give you guys a little bit of an I did it again. A little bit of an overview over here. This was the pagan holiday that just passed, Mayball. Busy, get the fuck out of here. And so I would love to delve into the world of shadow work, debunk shadow workers. There is no such thing as a shadow worker. Oh, that's a red flag. So I have an article I found to help you guys understand a bit better what shadow work really means. And yes, there are many cultures out there that have their own version of what they consider to be shadow work. But let's get one thing straight. There is no such thing as a shadow worker. That to me is a red flag. And I have an article here to prove that otherwise. And I will share the link with you guys right now because I don't just go basing it on myself. I base it on research. There's the link, and we shall get into it. Let's understand what shadow work means from a pagan Wiccan point of view. Shall we? And I do appreciate if you guys appreciate this, but you know what too? I do this because I want to. I do this because I want. I don't care. I like it. I like sharing information. I'm not looking for clout. I'm not looking for attention. I do this because I like to. Also, I want to protect humanity from those trying to control the world in their one thing I'm going to say right now piss me off is that people are claiming that they're shadow workers when really shadow work has nothing to do about being a shadow worker. This is for all individuals who are looking to heal themselves and evolve themselves. But you have to face your demons. And also too, I'm going to debunk this. There's no such thing as shadow time. This is not shadow time in my fucking religion and my spirituality. And if it is in yours, fine. But I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that at all. I think, and calling yourself things like a Wendigo or something, see that or a djinn, especially a djinn or a Wendigo, those type of beings, those are red flags that they are succubuses there to suck your energy. I'm sorry, but not sorry. I'm not going to put up with this. And especially when you're stealing my ancestry, better watch your back. Because you know what? I'll see that. And I'll do exactly what I'm doing right now. And I'm going to expose you for the liar that you are. Sorry, but not sorry. Because I don't want to be rude, but I don't want to lie. Right? So I'm sorry because I don't want to be rude, but I'm not sorry because I don't want to lie. So let's get into it. What is shadow work and why is it crucial to spiritual practice? So again, too, this is about spiritual practice. Okay? Like 100%. And I will look into the fact and see if shadow work does involve other tribes, like not just paganism and Wiccan. But I'll see if it goes in Native American and any other sorts. I'm going to ask on Google and see what it tells me. Because I'm just jumping on here because, yeah, I'm triggered. I ain't going to lie. Kitty, get out of here. Shadow work is a term that is frequently used in various spiritual traditions, including, okay, so, all right, so off the bat, there is a lot of spirituals of that. I will get into what those are. You okay? Including, okay, wait. But what is it really? My bad. Shadow work is not an edgelord or spoopy term. I'm going to say that one more time. It's not an edgelord or a spoopy term. We all know what spoopy means. Sheep, you are such sheep. You trying to use alchemy and all that shit, trying to get back what you want? Too bad. Not in my day and age. Fuck that. Fuck that. You'll occasionally see some people state that shadow work is about getting in touch with your dark side, which sounds like it's trying to turn you into a Sith Lord like Darth Vader or confront your inner mass murderer or something. That's not it. See, one more time, ladies and gentlemen. Shadow work is about going within yourself and facing your demons. Yours, nobody else's. That's what it really is. Nor is it about trying to turn yourself into a being of pure love, positivity, and light. If anything, that would be spiritual bypassing and a total avoidance of doing actual anything. So that's why I'm getting irked right now, because people are talking about shadow season. That's a spoopy term. That's a spoop term. On top of that, you're trying to cheat and not put any work into this. I am. Watch me. I shall continue. You shouldn't be burying negative emotions and thoughts or treating them as things to be avoided. In addition, it's not about shaming people as beings of darkness or whatever. One is accusing you of being Anakin Skywalker. But truth be told, he and the entire Jedi Council could have stood to have done a ton of shadow work. However, that's a whole other blog post rant. And that makes sense because they tried so hard to cheat and keep him in a fake positivity when, like, you get what I'm saying. I don't know what I'm saying, but I'm sure you get what I'm saying. Probably not, but let's continue. Shadow work is about dealing with your shortcomings and working on them. This sounds a lot simpler than it is. The reality is we are all deeply flawed people with our own personal baggage. Shadow work is about confronting that personal baggage and working on unpacking, putting away, or throwing it out entirely. I'm not going to lie, it's challenging and painful as hell. If you have mental health issues such as PTSD, it's especially painful as you will have to deal with your triggers head on. I speak from personal experience here. However, it's a good way to heal from trauma and handle personal growth. You don't need to be traumatized in order to need to do it. You just need to be human with your own baggage to unpack, which means literally everyone. Personal development is essential in all instances and areas of life. And once again, it's not about shame or blame. It's about taking on the responsibility of dealing with your issues. Let me emphasize that one more time. Your issues. Nobody else can do this but you. And if a shadow worker comes in and says, Red flag. Red flag, ladies and gentlemen. Because nobody else, again, one more time, nobody else can do this but you. That's it. Sorry to tell you. It needs to be done regardless of your degree or grade level and or years of experience. It does not matter whether or not you are a neophyte, a third degree, an adeptus minor, or even an pardon me here, I can't pronounce this word here. Ipismus. I will actually go like this. Because I don't know what these words mean. So just give me 1 second here. So these are the words that came up. I have to look into what those mean. It's not even remotely relevant how many years of experience you have been involved in any spiritual tradition. Being a priest or priestess does not exempt you from needing to do it. If anything, the further you go, the more of it you need to do. So that's basically what it's saying, is that if you're going to claim that... Actually, hang on a second. Wait, let me rephrase that for 1 second. Basically, what it's saying is, like for myself, I am a second degree Wiccan. I'm a second degree. Okay. And one day I hope to be a third degree Wiccan, which will make me a high priestess. But also, I'm not going to deny that I'm dealing with my shadow work again right now as we speak. I've dealt with it many a times already. Oh, not many a times, actually. I'll take that back. I have been dealing with it for about 3-4 years, I think. Something like that. Something like that. And I'm learning that, it never really ends. You know what I mean? Like, no matter how much experience I get, no matter how much knowledge I get, which I kind of was in that factor that I thought, okay, if I get more powerful, like, knowledge is power, right? So when I say powerful, I mean knowledge. So when I get more powerful, then I don't need to deal with it anymore. No, that's not true. I'm going through that again right now as we speak. And, it all just means that I'm on the right path. That's what it's affirming to me, that I'm on the right path, and that we never stop healing. Hashtag, we never stop healing. You will always have baggage to unpack, issues to confront, and stuff to deal with, like I was mentioning before. This is all part of being human. It is also best to tackle this on your own and at your own pace versus be dragged, kicked, and screaming if you dedicate yourself to a particular deity, especially on some level of priesthood. If you think it's painful on your own, imagine a being who is decidedly not human shoving you into the deep end in order to get you to the state you need to be in, an adequate tool for the job. And again, as I said, shadow workers, red flag. They're there to try to push you into the deep end when you're not. Unbelievable. Guys are unbelievable. This is how people break. I don't recommend it. Do the thing now on your own before you get shoved into the deep end. And if you're already in that state of being dragged there, please do yourself a favor and don't fight it. Do the work and keep on doing it. It doesn't even have to be a deity who could potentially drag you into doing this either. What could force you into doing shadow work could be a traumatic or life-changing event, or something drastic that clues you into something being wrong, such as explosive breakups with friends and our relationships. Any and all of these things could occur. And right there. You don't have to necessarily do it for that. You can do it because you are dealing with the trauma. You are dealing with a sudden negative change in your life. And don't fight it. I'm there. That's where I'm at right now. Nobody pushed me. No deity forced me. It was a life event that I am in the process of healing. Let's continue. I regret to inform you that all shadow work is ongoing process and does not ever stop. And I kind of mentioned that already. I said hashtag we are always healing. So the same thing goes for shadow work. Now I'm reading these articles as I'm learning in this process while giving you information and sharing knowledge. Because you know what? We don't always have the answers. And I'm an old soul. And I haven't reincarnated here. This is my first experience being a human being. I'm a multidimensional being. I've never been a human until now. So my wisdom goes beyond ancient. It's cosmic. My knowledge is cosmic. And by doing these sorts of works, I find it helps me personally while helping you at the same time to for my spiritual growth. Okay. This is my spiritual growth. So, and you know what too? I don't give a shit how I look right now. I don't. I really don't. I believe that the crazier you look, the more people are going to listen to you. Like Albert Einstein. Know what I mean? Jelly bean? I'm just kidding. All right. I'm getting out of hand here. There's a limit to everything, right? So I'm getting a little out of hand. Sorry about that. I'm gonna talk to you about a couple articles. So being in touch with yourself is crucial. Working on your issues is super crucial. And no, it will never end. It's a lifelong process. I can't promise that it will get any easier, but I can guarantee that it is super rewarding. And while it won't get easier, things in your life will get easier as a result of doing it. This includes everything from your magical efficacy, and your personal relationships, including the relationships you have with yourself, which is essential. You need to work on yourself. You need to stop looking for others to heal you when you can do it yourself. And it's not meant for everybody. Do the research before you jump into this. I'm an indigo and a light worker and a light healer and an agent of chaos and a couple of other things I can't remember on the top of my head, but maybe I should write that down and figure that out. I'm a 7-pointed star. I'm 7 different beings. And again, I think the 7th was included when I became a human. I'm not lying. And if you think I'm crazy, I don't give a shit. I really don't give a shit. It's never too soon to start. Or as for too late, that's when you find yourself taking your issues out on others and losing good people in your life as a result. And you don't always get second chances. So if you would like to read more, I think I'm going to share this one right here. I think this is a good thing and most definitely needed right now. I like this website. I'm very glad I found it. They have wonderful articles that you guys can do yourself because there's no excuse why you have to be that lazy to do something like this. You have to understand this kind of work. You have to do it solo. Like there is teachers and there is healers and there is guides like myself, which is all three of them. I'm not, well, I would like to be a teacher one day. I don't know if I'm a teacher yet. I don't think I'm at that level. I don't think I'll be. Look at my cute kitty. No, I'm not keeping him, but he is cute. Get out of here. Don't go my keyboard, boy. So yeah. And as my black cat comes on there, right? Well, he's not completely black. He's got a little bit of white, like white hairs on him kind of thing. Anyways. These sort of paths, you have to be 100% sure you want to do it. Especially when you want to grow spiritually. But here's another article I want to talk about that I'm being told. What? No. Get out of here. Bullying in the occult and pagan communities. And I think that's a big thing to definitely. Spirit is telling me, get out of here. Spirit, fuck off. Spirit is, stop. Black cat crossed your path. Oh no. I think this is a really big, important thing to talk about. My spirit guides are telling me that this needs to be brought up immediately because there is this movement of propaganda. I'll come back to that when I figure that out. I had it and I lost it. So, pardon me. Anyways, so here, I like usually tell you how long to read this here, but it might be a short one. It should go without saying that bullies are everywhere. You'll find them in the workplace and pretty much anywhere online. Bullying has been a thing. And I know one person who is. Not going to say any names, but they know who they are. And I'm watching you. So why should it be any different in the pagan, polytheist, witch, or occult communities? And I'm part of the occult. I am a Freemason. So, and again, I've mentioned before, not all occultists are good people. Keep that in mind. Just like humans are not always going to be good people. Keep that in mind. And if it's different, how is it different exactly? The forms of bullying can be more complex. In any spiritual community, there will be people whose voices will be heard more frequently than others. They might have a blog, like me, and I'm not pointing towards myself, I'm reading the article here. Teach classes, be book authors, lead groups and or rituals, etc. In these instances, it is very easy for someone in such positions of power to abuse it, or worse yet, desire power enough to abuse people for it. Obviously, when religion is involved, the bullying can be even messier than under normal circumstances, especially when the power dynamic is unequal. In the workplace, there are bosses who bully their employees. I've been a victim of such bullying in the past. Again, this is unfortunately common and toxic dynamic involving people engaging in abuses of power. When religion gets involved, this is how cults, cult leadership, and cults of personality can form. And you know what? Right now, I'm going to say it. I have a theory that shadow workers are cultists. And there are spiritual bullies. That's what I'm going to say to that. And like in any professional environment, it can also get very personal. Okay, so recap for a second here. When religion gets involved, this is how cults, cult leadership, and cults of personality can form. And like in a professional environment, it can also get very personal. Our communities don't have outlets for handling bullying, and it's a real problem. Some groups will have codes of conduct. In them, there is often a step-by-step process for handling personal issues in a group. Of course, that's if you're in a formal group to begin with. online, the notion of groups and belongings get murky, complex, and has no real definition beyond things such as Facebook groups, which I personally am beginning to stay off of, because I'm realizing that that is so very true. That I say hi. No, get out of here. That's more like, definitely, I have seen firsthand Facebook group cults and communities that are exactly what's being described. Again, I'm flaking out on what this fucking just said. Okay, wait. So, notion in a formal group to be online, the notion of groups and belongings get murky. Yeah, because like not everybody's on the same page, and then it just opens its way up for more bullying. A lot of people come to the social media outlets already feeling isolated due to the lack of local community, and of course, none of this helps. And of course, they're looking to take advantage of that situation and you. So again, shadow workers, sorry to say that. Me personally, I feel you are doing exactly what is being said right now. And I think you are manipulating people. When I Google bullying in spiritual groups online, all the essays and blog posts address it from a Christian standpoint. There are countless articles, but solely from a Christian perspective. Googling bullying in pagan groups, I only see a few blog posts. There is one in particular that dwells in the types of bullying that can exist, including intimidation, coercion, verbal and physical abuse, and isolation. Our groups have varying power structures and also potentially involve other spiritual dimensions, such as the use of magic in order to maintain power and bully others. When magic is also involved, it's not pretty. In spiritual groups, people can be threatened with the notion of being cut off from contact with the community, their means of learning and growth, and the outlet for their particular spiritual path. When magic and witchcraft get involved, there's a whole other power dynamic present that makes things even more uncomfortable. I've personally known of a number of witches and magicians who have abused magic in order to control other people, and hexes or curses their way when they have difficulties controlling them. Shadow workers. Because I've Googled it, there is no such thing as shadow workers. That smells like a cult to me, like Saturn death cult. It's another fucking cult happening. I'm stopping it right now. So I'm really glad I found this. I like to say that these sorts of practices are uncommon, but unfortunately they are not. Some even brag about hexing or cursing people online and use it as a further means of intimidation. I can't say there aren't people out there. The very real ability to do magical harm, and I highly recommend learning how to protect yourself against such things. Already on it. New Age bullying continues to be a very real thing. This is a very specific form of bullying, typically seen in a lot of spiritual as well as occult communities. Unlike traditional forms of bullying that surround themselves with negativity, New Age bullying relies on sugarcoating their bullying with superficial sweetness and light. Toxic positivity and victim blaming is a real concern. You know who you are. I'm not going to say anything more. If you're watching this, you know exactly who you are and what you're doing, and I'm exposing it. I'm a step ahead of you. Bad things happen to good people all the time. It has nothing to do with some twisted Western misconception of karma, what they attracted, their mindset, or anything like that. COVID-19 isn't a spiritual disease. It's what happens when human beings let their selfishness overrule their judgment. Societies that encourage toxic individuals in lieu of taking care of their own will collapse. Did you hear that? Your structure is collapsing. Why? Because I'm destroying it. And yes, I'm only one person. Guess what? I am William Wallace in reincarnation. Oh, and Ragnar Lothbrok. I'm here to destroy this with the help of Mother Nature. So that's good. It's a similar deal with our communities. We must support each other or our communities will collapse. How do you handle bullying in the pagan, polytheist, and occult communities then? There have been many articles on how to deal with bullies in a practical sense, whether they are online or in your workplace. But first, what do bullies look for in their victims? Ooh, time to get into the good shit, right? It's time to expose some online bullying, especially in the occult communities. Yes. And your fake Wiccans, your KK, Wicca. Who the fuck writes Wicca like this? That's a cult. That's a KKK cult. Missing 1K. That's a cult. That's an occult cult. Occult cult. That's what I'm seeing it as. So, you stand out. This could be good, bad, or a mixture. For better or for worse, for some reason you stand out. It could be due to gender identity, sexuality, religious beliefs, or anything in particular that sets you apart from others. It could be these differences that threatens them. You could be part of a group that they dislike for whatever reason. Their feelings of being in control is threatened by you. You could remind them of a part of themselves they don't like for whatever reason. You could be better at something than they are, or know more on a topic they are invested in. Either way, they are threatened. You are a threat. I don't mean to. I mean it with love. I know you're watching this. I don't have to say your goddamn name. I don't even have to say your sex. You know who you are. You know exactly who you are. I don't have to say a goddamn thing. Oh, okay, you know what? That's uncomfortable. See that way. And you're probably watching this right now, and I hope you do, because it might be an hour-long fucking read. So buckle in, ladies and gentlemen, and enjoy the fucking ride. Typically, bullies bully because they think they can get away with it. The idea is that they want to feel strong and make you feel weak. It's a power dynamic, typically done by people who feel that their own sense of identity and power is threatened. Bosses will do this in order to maintain power over people they feel they can't control otherwise, and it tends to be a similar deal in pagan, polytheist, and occult environments as well. Those who see themselves in a position of power that they have to fight for will fight for it. Wait. Yeah. And they see you as a threat to their position of power. You will have power over them in some way, and they're trying to compensate for it. Of course, knowing this is a small consolation to people who have to deal with bullying, obviously. So this is just condensed. There we go. Addressing that power dynamic. 1, don't ever be a party to enabling bullying. Call it out for what it is. If you see something, say something. Shadow workers are bullies, are a cult. They're cults. And stop using stupid fucking words like shadow season. It's shadow season. Oh my God. It is not fucking shadow season. It's called autumn. If it was shadow season, that's winter. Idiots. God damn it. Idiots. Be aware that bullies will do anything to avoid facing consequences for their actions. They will gaslight, threaten, intimidate. Don't let them get away with it. Don't let them get away with it. And this here too, this goes for all types of bullying. So call out the bully. Okay, don't be afraid of that. Don't be afraid. They will try to threaten you. They will try to intimidate you. They will gaslight you. Don't let them get away with it. One of the tactics bullies will use in social isolation. Get out of here. Oh, sorry. One of the tactics bullies will use is social isolation. Don't let them isolate you or anyone else. Tell people. Get others involved. Stick to the facts. Don't let them move the goalposts or make this into a personal discussion or attack. They want a cat fight? Don't give it to them. If they run a group that you are in, leave that group, and if need be, get help or support from others in doing so. Don't let them have any authority or power over the conversation or the situation. Some groups will enable bullies naturally and be a haven for cultists and as a cult. What to look for in a group also includes what to avoid in a group and how to tell if a group is unhealthy. One that supports and enables such people is one to be avoided because it's often how cults start. Also, groups that are cults will use bullies and bullying to keep people in line. Would you please? Busy! So, there you go. Hang on one sec. I'm just reading something. Okay, I'm going to do one more. I have a feeling I need to bring this up here. Spirit's telling me to bring up one more. Because that's what I feel like also, like that's a good point too. This is what I feel like also. I'm so sorry, 1 second here. What? Wait. So let's get into the dark side of performative wokeness and cancel culture. And I'm sorry to say it one more time, ladies and gentlemen, but that's how I feel people calling themselves shadow workers are the dark side of performative wokeness. So let's get into this one. This one seems like a really good read. And again, I just looked it up. I am allowing the universe to show me this, to show me what is needed to be said. No script. Right, raw. Come on, baby. Busy cat. Busy. Busy! Stop! Oh my God. They're just being little wankers today. Remember how I blogged about both cultural appropriation and cancel culture? Cool. Know how sometimes people will complain about how wokeness and allyship can sometimes be performative wokeness? Here's a great personal story and a wonderful lesson to learn about how things can potentially get performative, what people need to do in order to make sure it doesn't happen. I'll start with a big one. Not listening to the groups you're claiming to defend isn't a great start in attempting to be an ally. It's not cool to hate on people and not listen to them when they call you out. There is nothing woke about going on a cancel all Wicca binge. First, what? Whoa! Okay. All right, I'm triggered. Are you fucking serious? Oh my god. Okay, all right. I said I was going to do this. First of all, not all Wicca is actually Wicca. Secondly, some of us are actually in initiatory. I can't pronounce that. I got speech impediment. Practices, which is also referred to as closed practices. I got into it with a Facebook group that puts trigger warnings in all mentions of Wicca. Actually, having PTSD myself makes this trigger warning on Wicca insulting to me. Yeah, I'm getting like that right now too. As hell. Yeah. And is making light of actual trigger warnings on serious issues. Thanks, allies. They also claim to be defunding closed practices and marginalized groups. When I pointed out that my traditional Wicca is not their assumed Wicca, they pointed several pages into a fellow initiate's website mentioning Lilith and accused me of appropriating from Jewish practices and being racist. More bullying. Racist against Jews. Which the Jewish just had their fucking New Year just recently. You need to listen to marginalized groups and not automatically assume who you're talking to. Fam, I am Jewish. I am an actual legit Jew. My parents are Jewish. I have my naming ceremony at birth and everything. I am honest to Hashim, 100% Jewish. And the amount of anti-Semitism I've had to deal with on my own communities is absolutely breathtaking. I've also been stalked, harassed, threatened, and doxxed over it. Wow, so a Jew is a Wiccan? I've been accused of being anti-white, and referred to as Jewess. Also who is tainting Hellenism with her Semitic mindset. Oh my God, I'm so sorry this is happening to you. These are real quotes from pagans and polytheists. What are you eating? I get more hate over this aspect of my identity than anything else. About as much as being female is not okay. Is about as much as being female, if not more so. But I'm more than certain that being a woman increases a particular brand of hate severalfold. I will likely receive even more from this blog post since I'm not trying to make excuses for my heritage or try to claim it's only cultural in order to downplay it, because it means I'm not a good Jew to those people. You have to pick and choose your battles carefully too. We also don't police people's personal practices in my traditions. That's called a cult. C-U-L-T. T. And we don't do that. I'm not responsible for what someone else in one of my traditions puts up on their page in their own time. Also, and most importantly, neither of my initiatory Wiccan trades include Lilith in our praxis. And if a coven decides to up and do so in their own time, we can't police them either. Covens are autonomous. Autonomous. End of. We reserve banishing people from our trades for things such as being transphobic, racist, and all-around bigoted jerk, as well as pedophilia. In short, we pick and choose what hills we die on, and I do feel that we've chosen wisely. By my own rants on pagans and occultists, blithely, including Lilith and Hermetic Kabbalah, and their practices while engaging in all styles and speech ranging from microaggressions to being outright anti-Semitic. And that's yet another post for another day. And I promise you, it's coming. Either way, to talk down to me about the heritage I come from when you're not Jewish yourself is downright freaking rude and presumptuous. Which we just had recently. We just had that recently. People celebrating Rosh Hashanah, I think it's called Ram Shasha. They're Jewish New Year, and they're not even Jewish. This is making me sick right now. This is making me sick. Let's continue. I need to finish this. I feel sick. You can't police on closed practices, then refuse to listen to people who are actually in them. Continuing the performative wokeness, I had non-initiates in there trying to school me on my own history and traditions. They don't know them. Newsflash, you're not an initiate and therefore don't get to tell us what's in our own traditions, let alone how we're handling issues such as gender polarity, gender identity, and sexuality, and my traditions actually are. Until you are, listen to those who are members of said closed groups. These people have read maybe a Cunningham book or two, met a few neo-Wiccan bad eggs, and now they're trying to throw everything away with the explanation that our history is problematic. Ever sick, man. That's not how this works. That's not how any of this works. Do you honestly think any of our histories aren't problematic? You might as well throw literally everything away at this point. Let's get real here. Human history is multitudes of tire fires in a huge wasteland filled with nothing but. Your pagan practices come from patriarchal societies that practice human sacrifice and slavery. But you want to whine about Alexandrian and Gardnerian trads as a non-initiate, or worse yet, paint all of Wiccan traditions with your loosely based on Cunningham brush. Really? That's a lot to talk about here. Okay, this will be the last one I talk about because this is really a lot. On problematic histories and how to handle them and not. The key is to teach where you came from and why you left it. And that's exactly what we do in our traditions. And had they taken the time to actually listen to me, we could have had a wonderful dialogue on that. But nah, it's much cooler to hate on Wicca and pretend to care about closed practices while lecturing those who are actually in them. The reality is they aren't remotely concerned about actually protecting or defending Jewish people like myself. Closed practices like the ones I'm actually an initiate of or anything like that. They just want woke points and an excuse to both hate on others and feel superior, as I mentioned earlier already. And refusing, I don't know if I said on here on Facebook, and refusing to discuss things while sweeping them under the rug does more harm than good. Want real education on Wicca? Sit down and talk to a real initiate about it as opposed to ignoring and muting them with the arrogance that you know more than they do. Don't ignore, attack, and or mute the people who claim to be defending. That is where allyship and cancel culture becomes toxic. Welcome to performative wokeness. Woo! So now I see, you know what, shadow workers? You're performative wokeness. That's what you are. That's what you're looking for. You're looking for brownie points. Sorry. People are going to, okay, so you screwed up on this. Now what? People are going to screw up. I've done it. We've all done it. So how do you handle it? I'll tell you what you don't do. Mute the only Jew in the room who got accused of being racist against her own heritage in a presumptuous rant about someone else not even related to your own practices while you're claiming you're off to talk to the mods about how her ethnicity culture was assumed and claim it's not punishment. You just don't have the spoons. Know what Jews in the pagan, polytheist, and occult communities don't have right now? Spoons for dealing with microaggressions and low-key anti-Semitism. because it is everywhere. I literally spent all day on it in another group before dealing with that crap. I can guarantee you that right now, none of us have the spoons. None. And if you don't have the spoons to handle this sort of problem when it comes to up in your woke group, then you don't have a woke group. Because that's literally your job as a mod. This is how your wokeness becomes performative wokeness. And silencing a person who was attacked, not cool. And yes, all this happens in a woke group that claims to be helping to protect against closed practices and marginalized groups. Guess what? That threefold law that you claim all Wiccans adhere to, which initiatory Wiccans like me don't adhere to it, and DGAF don't give a. You've replaced that with a massive quantity of paranoia on everything you practice to the point of actually being racist in your own objections, including policing and silencing the very people you claim you're trying to protect and defend. Who needs a dogmatic threefold law or alleged Wiccan creed or whatever when you can silence a marginalized people in the room instead of engage in performative wokeness? Also, you can't handle discussions on marginalized groups without listening to them. And when you do screw up, the thing not to do is bombard their inbox with a wall of text of nothing but excuses, or make it all about you, because it's not about you, Karen. Yeah, shadow worker Karen. And yep, that woke mod did exactly that, unfortunately. Here's what you exactly do. Recognize you made the error. Issue a sincere and public apology. Yes, you have to own it. And take steps to remedy and correct. If you can't adhere to your own rules about calling out people when people call you out, your behavior is hypocritical and harming the very causes you claim to support. This is where allyship and cancel culture become performative wokeness. You have to actually take your own damn medicine. That means being okay with being checked yourself, listening to other people, and certainly not shooting first and refusing to ask questions later. I don't know why this is so challenging. I don't know why any of this is so hard to understand. And this gives hate groups more ammunition against us. So thanks for defending me and other marginalized people, I guess. And whenever you do, don't you dare tone police us. Don't you dare tone police us. Ooh, tone police us. Never heard of that term before yet. Let's get into that. This post went through 1 million edits because I'm angry as hell and I don't want my points to be lost in anger. There's a lot that people need to take away from this. And that is super important. And that importance outweighs my desire to rant. And I'm not the only one frustrated by performative wokeness either. It's hurting a lot of people and making activism much harder to do. And it's already hard. All of this is hard, but we gotta. I'm also allowed to be angry. So are others dealing with this and similar nonsense. I've been there. If you feel attacked by anything I've said, sit with it for a while. And examine why you feel that way. And stop being defensive about it too. You can't lecture people on this stuff without cleaning your own house first. I know people are trying to come in with good intentions, and I'm sure you are too. But this isn't how to do it. This is how you harm those whom you claim to care about. So, yeah. I think this is perfect to what I was talking about indefinitely. I think all three subjects are indefinitely tied into one another. They seem to be. And the best part is, like, again, I just let spirit guide me and show me the way. And I got 3 really good articles. I got a good fucking hour on this shit. And it will show it. This is how you share knowledge. It's not in a 10, 15 minute fucking wham bam, thank you, ma'am. Wisdom and knowledge takes time to explain and to discuss. Okay. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. I know I did. I always enjoy these things. I will, however, too, sometime this week, I will start part 2 of the urban shamanism. So stay tuned. I know I've said many a times before that, well, it's necessarily for the fact that I don't really have a schedule worked out right now because I have work I have to do 5 days a week. I've got cats that I'm fostering. I'm a foster parent right now, so I really don't have the time all the time. I do it when I can. That's why, I would prefer to be able to do this on a regular basis, like a scheduled regular basis if I can. But, also too, I do realize that I'm an agent of chaos and I don't really work that way. I can't really conform to that kind of shit, right? And I want to leave off with a beautiful sunset to start your day. See if you can see it. Shit. Busy, look out. Yeah, move. Busy. Some beautiful pink skies up there. I'm so scared I'm going to drop this. Absolutely gorgeous pink skies up there. Yeah. I have a feeling that I have to turn off the light here for a second. Yeah. Now we should be able to see. So I just want to capture this beautiful sunrise, and you can't see me now. I want to capture this beautiful sunrise that's happening right now. I should be able to get it now. Ah, shit. Am I getting it? Probably not. Oh, well, I tried. Maybe I'll post a picture up or something. Cats, get out of here. Oh, good kitties. Good kitties. So, anyways, I was trying to capture the sunrise right now. I guess it's not going to work, but I will try to take a picture and edit the thumbnail on this bitch because that's really pretty and I really want a picture of it. So, all right. Well, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for listening. And if you like, subscribe, like, share, comment, all that fun stuff. And if you don't, it's always up to you guys what you want to do, right? And I, for one, really don't mind if nobody interacts with me on these things. I'm just here to share my knowledge. That's all I know. And I don't get butthurt if nobody likes to interact with this. I'm okay with that. I am 100% okay with that. I do not mind at all whatsoever. I do have to go to the bathroom really bad. Like, really bad. So, again, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for listening. Thank you for whatever. Just, thank you. I really appreciate it. So, with that being said, I hope everybody has a wonderful week and a wonderful day, and stay safe, stay smart, and stay away from stupid people, and love yourself. All right. Especially in today's world right now, where it's becoming more apparent that we are seeing the demons that humans hide, and that, humans are worse than demons, actually. So I know it's hard to accept that truth, but you know what? You got me. That's all I can really say to that. I don't know what else to say to that. All right. Luna Ananival out.